Our next speaker of this webinar is Ms. Nargiz Xelef, member and the Secretary of the Council of State Support to NGOs under Auspices of the President of the Republic of Azerbaijan. Welcome, Ms. Nargiz Xelef, and the topic of Ms. Nargiz Xelef is examples and the benefits of the collaboration between the youth of Europe and Azerbaijan.
Thank you so much, Mr. Bajwa, and it's really honor for me to participate as a speaker this webinar. Unfortunately, I couldn't to hear clearly the other speaker from Azerbaijan, Mr. Ahmedzadeh, but thanks to him as well, because it's very good that the voice of Azerbaijan is, it must really heard. And I'm a daughter, I'm a wife, I'm a mother, so that's why I can't talk about this conflict just as a, without any emotion. So I have to mention the people who, they lost their life even in 18th, in 19th, not only today, not only 10 years ago. This conflict took a lot of life. This conflict destroy a lot of families, destroy a lot of happiness of the people, and that's why, just only talk about today's process in Azerbaijan, what is happening with the border of our occupied territories. I think it's not really enough, because the listeners which at this moment hear us, I think for them will be better to know a little bit deeply from what all this happening, and I'm very proud that it's 30 years that all this situation is going on, but I'm very proud that this youth of Azerbaijan, they don't forget their motherland. Even after 30 years, they are really demanding their truth and their justice truth. For instance, I have to inform you that of course, perhaps about this conflict, you are getting information from the Google, from some internet informations. But when I'm researching, I see that not everything is, everything is clearly giving information. So perhaps some. So it will be better me to give some brief information about this conflict, that when in 1818 in Karabakh, in Topkhana forests, Armenians just started destroy that forest, and just when Azerbaijan youth, they started to protest against this. Today, Armenians says that this protest was against Armenians, but it wasn't, where I live in Baku, my mother, my grandma, they said that we lived with Armenians together. We had neighbors. We lived very peaceful. We lived together, and we didn't have any problem together with them. So, it's reality that just only some politicians, some historians just started to spoil brain of Armenian people, boil that we can't live together with Azerbaijans or something like this, and this is the reason all of this, the lie which is created by some people, and we know that this lie will be like the end, the justice exactly will be happened, because the youth of Azerbaijan know what they want. They know their own motherland, and but in that period in 1818, Soviet Union was exist, the empire was exist, but despite this, Azerbaijan youth protest against that, not against Armenians, against what exactly happening, that their forests is just destroying, and then in 92, a result of this territorial claims of Azerbaijan, you know that the war is started and started from Armenian side. And you know, now we say that Azerbaijan, the first Karabakh war, so Azerbaijan lost their territories, but there were huge reason for this. You know, when Azerbaijan was a part of Soviet Union, that period, that area got a lot of things from Azerbaijan. Economical and social, you know, just everything was paralyzed. That's why after getting independence, it was really hard to just to make a war with the neighbor. You know, Azerbaijan people is very peaceful people. The war for us, it's you know, it's just it doesn't make any sense for us. And when you just got independent with the blood, because in 19th you see that in January Soviet Union armed force, they just went to Baku and they killed a lot of people just because they wanted independence. So after all this, when Azerbaijan people got independence, and suddenly your neighbor, which you lived together as a brother, long time, and suddenly they say that, you know, we can't live with you. You are so, I don't know, something, and that's really hard to live with you, and we want just to separate. And this is also doesn't make any sense. If you don't want to live with me, you can go to another country, which you have that country. How you had your country, I don't want to go deeply to the historical points. How now they have Iravan. I will not mention and touch this issue, but so you don't want to live with me, you can go to your own country. So why you have to demand another part of territory that, no, I will live here, but not with Azerbaijanians, and not only with Azerbaijan. Today in Karabakh, there is no one, you know, no other a nation in that place. Even Armenians doesn't live there, and it's normal because everything is destroyed there. There is nothing, no any condition to leave that places. And we know that Armenian government forced some Armenians, very poor Armenians, to go and to live in that territories, in Azerbaijan territories, Karabakh. But of course, for people, it's very hard because there is no any condition to live there. And you know, when we see all this, you know, like a fairy tale, which they have just created, and what, so what, you know, so what? This is the question. And each time when I'm traveling to the different countries, and especially to the Europe, and we are holding some events, and in that events we are meeting with the Armenians, you know, there is no answer for this question. If you okay, you occupied this territory, okay, you now you have a voice that I have this part of land. So if you don't live there, if you don't use that territory, if that territory is just buffer zone and shame for the region, shame for the world, so why you did this? Why you did this? There is no answer for me, and I couldn't, never ever got any answer from other side of the youth side, you know. And yes, okay, and but when all these things in the war, I mean, in 1992, the war is started, immediately at this period, UN, I mean, United Nations Security Council, for that reason, adopted 4 resolutions and called immediately, unconditional and full withdraw Armenian armed force from the territories of Azerbaijan. And today, Armenia just make themselves as a blind, you know, they don't see this resolution, they don't respect international law and the international organization just doesn't exist for them, you know. And what is the horrible part of these things, that international organizations look all these things very silent, you know. very silent. There is no any pressure on this unrespectable view to international law. And also, you know, all the world, all international law, international organizations recognize Azerbaijan territorial integrity. And just only one country is just occupying your land, and even they have created there some, I don't know, republic, something like this, and even Armenia doesn't recognize this republic, you know, this republic. And when you just see all the situation, that huge question, for what, for why all of these things? And I have to mention one thing. This is very important point. What is, I think, really, this is my point of view. I have to mention that this is my point of view. What is really, I think, make all this situation complicated, what is, you know, make more and more deeply problems in the solvation of this problem. In 1992, in February 26, Armenia, in Karabakh, in Khojaly, they were Khojaly genocide. They have committed this Khojaly genocide, and this brutal genocide. When they've done this genocide, the Russian armed force, exactly army group, 336 armed groups were near them, like work together with them. Another point which really like make it complicated, and for me it's really like rare that there is a parliament member of Russia. Approximately 10 years ago, this parliament member of Russia, Konstantin Zalutin, he said, like, I'm repeating his sentences, exactly what he said. He said, like, Armenia is a Russia military ally. If any country who will attack Armenia, we will defend them with our troops there. Where? In Gümrü. In Gümrü, and where is Gümrü? Gümrü is a very border with Armenia and Azerbaijan. So this is the words of Russian Parliament member Konstantin Zalutin. So are you hearing me? Hello?
Yes, yes, your voice is audible.
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah, is my voice went? Because I think that you couldn't hear some of my points, no? Or you can hear me?
We were getting you. We are getting you. Please continue.
Okay, so yeah, and from my side, as a young person of my country, my region, because it's very important in our schools. In our schools, always our teacher teach us, like, don't think that you are only a citizen of this country. Think like you are a citizen of this region, of Caucasus region, you know. That's why when we are discussing and when we are just discussing some matter of this region, we can't only say our opinion from the Azerbaijan side. We want to think more wild, you know, and that's why this part for me, what Mr. Konstantin Zalutin said, Zatulin said, it's really, you know, it's really strange to me. So all these things make this matter, this conflict, more hard and more deeply. And still today, that's why we have, can't reach any exact solution of this. And so, yes, in 1994, we both sides achieved the peace, and but still today, Mr. Ahmedzadeh already mentioned all these things, that in 2000, yeah, in 2000. 14, 2016, and you know, almost every day, gunfire doesn't stop in that territories. But today also, like 3-4 years ago, there were huge gunfire there as well, and we lost some, like approximately 10 military servants there. But you know, okay, to lose military servants, we can understand this because this is war is continuing. But a huge question, you know, how it's possible the residents are killing, the residents' house are killing, you know, their house are shooting, are bombing, you know. And the one person, you know, he's Azizov, he's just killed at his house, you know. This is not the rule of war. This is very wild, and all this situation, all this process, what is happening now at this moment in our territory, must be done. And why international organization, why they don't, you know, our national organizations, almost 100 organizations in one day, they have signed, each of them, they have signed a statement, and they've sent it to the international organizations, and also to the foreign affairs of the 3 countries of the Minsk group. You know, this is France, US, and Russia. They have sent the statements, and they demand that all the situation have to stop. Okay, if you make us to understand the killing of the military services, what about the people who are just civil living there? What about the residents? What about the children? You know what is happening in that territory. That Armenian snipers are just shooting the children who is playing at the yard of their house, you know, at the yard. This is, I think that a human can't do this. This is not military rules. This is not our war rules. This is just a wild thought of the people who, I can't even say that they are Armenians, because I don't want to believe that Armenians are so wild people, you know. I don't want to believe in this, because our fathers, mothers, our grandmothers lived there together very peacefully in Baku, in the other regions in Karabakh as well of Azerbaijan. So I'm so sorry, I'm a little bit emotional, but it's I can't be emotional when I'm talking about the children, 4 years, 3 years, 7 years children, which is just killed by sniper, you know, by sniper. Even it's sniper, it means that it's very logically, it's not suddenly. But you know, what is really nice, that the youth of Azerbaijan, they don't stop. They are writing statements to international organizations, and also huge thanks to the country as a Pakistan, as a Turkey, United Kingdom. I know also they say that they condemn the Armenian aggression. We really on behalf of whole Azerbaijan people, on behalf of whole Azerbaijan civil society, we really thank you for this fair point of view. And I know that I forgot some countries which condemned the Armenian actions. So sorry for that. Perhaps I didn't said some names of some countries. And you know, our youth, like at present, actions are taken in various parts of the world. I know that last time it was in United States, in Poland, in Great Britain, in Israel, and etc. So our youth, which is living in different countries of the world, they just want make a world, make international organizations to be heard, And you know, that's really nice. That's really nice that our youth is just united. A petition has been set up in U.S. Congress to discuss the Karabakh issue, and also the Karabakh issue and the Armenian attacks. So, and our representative of our youth, of our civil society organizations, they do really huge job in social media, in Twitter as well. I have to mention it, and me also. I am the active user of Twitter since 2011, and you know, each time I just try to contact to Armenian youth, to you know, to just discuss that something. No, it's just impossible. I can't hear something. It's really a sadness, you know. I do not see anything constructive, just only except swearing, historical lies, and slander, you know, and that's all. No, any discussion, and it can't be continued, you know. It can't be continued. Definitely, international organizations, the world have to can't be silent of this violence in our region, because Caucasus region is very unique. It's very, with the great nature, with the great people, with the great culture, you know. How it's possible that some people destroying all of these things in our region? And I have to say that this kind of battles, this kind of clash will continue until the issue is will be resolved, you know. If not exact salvation of all this conflict, of course, with the territorial integrity of Azerbaijan, these battles and clash will be continued. Definitely all of this will be continued. And Armenia complains the world that Azerbaijan must stop the fight. And you know, the president of Azerbaijan, Ilham Aliyev, they have very reasonable opinion on this. Like, if an Armenian soldier does not want to die, what he is doing in Azerbaijan territory? It's so simple. It's so simple, and that's it. And I'm really so sorry that having your time much, but I would like to emphasize one more issue as well. You know, journalists are beaten in Armenia, and the opposition political party Rigizaryan died after 53 days of hunger strike protest, you know. And silence from international organization side. Why we see these double standards? When some very few thing is happening in Azerbaijan, all international organizations are starting to criticize Azerbaijan. Azerbaijan, you do this, why you do this, why you do so? So why you silence against all this situation, what is now happening in Armenia? Okay, you don't care about Azerbaijan. So why you don't care about Armenians as well? The deputies, you know, are just so easily beating in that country, and approximately 200 in that country, and no hears and hearing held from the world side. Okay, especially from the Europe side. And so, do I have a minute or I have to finish?
You can take 1 minute.
Okay, I'm so sorry, but the issue is so sensitive. It's so sensitive that
we can understand your emotions. We can understand your emotion,
yeah,
and the level of your pain.
It's too hard to be brief. So I'm okay. I'm just I'm going to conclude my speech. As I said, that I think that we see that no sanctions are imposed, and all this situation have to just they have to be some sanctions towards Armenia from the world side. And what I'm now at this moment I'm saying, I think that it's enough for the sanctions on Armenia. So at the end, I want to say that if today Azerbaijan integrity, territorial integrity will be implemented, and this conflict will be end with the territorial integrity of Azerbaijan, believe me, Azerbaijan is going to give the highest autonomic to Karabakh, and we want Karabakh to become a place where not only Azerbaijani people, not only Armenians will live there. People of the world can very comfortable live there, you know. And this is the main message from our side, which we want to convey to the world.
Thanks a lot, Ms. Nargis, for your heart-provoking speech, and we can understand your pain and level of sorrow. The culprits of these crimes against humanity will become under the law one day, and we are really impressed by the lobbying and advocacy techniques of the youth of Azerbaijan. You are doing a lot. You are just doing advocacy on the modern levels, and one day your voices will be heard in the international community as well. Thanks a lot for joining us.